What if I told you there's a family so powerful they've influenced wars, built nations, and reshaped the world economy without most people ever knowing their name? They've been called the hidden hand behind history, but who are they really? And what does life inside a trillion-dollar dynasty actually look like? Stay with me, because today we're going beyond the surface, into secrets YouTube rarely dares to explore. Most people start the Rothschild story with Mayer Amschel Rothschild in Frankfurt during the late 1700s. But what they don't tell you is this: Mayer's power came not from his wealth alone, but from something far more subtle, his mastery of debt as a form of diplomacy. While other bankers lent money to monarchs, Mayer created multi-generational debt obligations, meaning rulers weren't just indebted to him, but to his sons, their sons, and so on. This is how 5 of Mayer's sons became the 5 arrows, each planted in a different European capital: London, Paris, Vienna, Naples, and Frankfurt. Each wasn't just a banker. They were embedded like financial satellites, capable of influencing wars, peace treaties, even royal marriages. Few realize the Rothschilds developed an internal communication system so advanced it outpaced most governments of the time. This wasn't just carrier pigeons or couriers. We're talking about private encrypted correspondences using complex family ciphers, private postal systems spanning Europe, and even intelligence gathering that rivaled the British Crown. Why? Because in the 19th century, the first to receive accurate information was the first to make or avoid losing millions. They didn't just react to news, they knew it before anyone else. Despite their legendary wealth, Rothschilds weren't interested in fame. They perfected the art of concealed power. Here's something YouTube rarely explains. Unlike modern billionaires who build brands around their names, the Rothschilds chose stealth over spotlight. They owned no flashy tech empires. They had no social media. Instead, they funded governments, wars, railways, mining companies, and later, even oil pipelines, but never directly in their name. Many of their holdings were under shell corporations and interlocking directorates, often across multiple countries to avoid detection. Their true wealth has never been fully audited. That's why you'll hear wild estimates from $400 billion to $1 trillion or more. The Rothschilds weren't just business geniuses, they were master strategists in family planning. One of the least discussed secrets of their dynasty: strategic intermarriage. By the 1800s, over 60% of Rothschild marriages were between cousins. This wasn't just tradition, it was policy. The goal? To keep wealth consolidated, avoid external influence, preserve financial secrets. But more than that, Rothschild children were trained like nobility, with education in 5 languages, tutoring in statecraft, and access to powerful networks before they hit age 15. They weren't raised to just be rich, they were raised to be dynastic operators. Here's the twist few expect. After World War I, the Rothschilds' openly control over global finance began to fade. Why? The rise of national central banks, the collapse of monarchies, the advent of American banking dynasties like J.P. Morgan and Rockefeller. But while public influence declined, their networks didn't disappear, they simply adapted. Modern Rothschild ventures include Edmond de Rothschild Group, Swiss banking; Rothschild & Co., global advisory firm; private equity funds in Europe, Africa, and Asia; ownership of massive vineyards and art collections. And here's something you won't hear often. The family now operates more like a financial intelligence cartel, leveraging private deal-making and invisible capital flows rather than public investments. Did you know the Rothschilds were instrumental in the creation of the Bank of England's private issuance model, financing Britain's acquisition of the Suez Canal, advising France's rebuilding after both world wars, and quietly consulting during the formation of the European Union? They don't need to own everything. They just need a seat at the table where decisions are made. One of the most hidden aspects of their influence, the Rothschild family has held dual roles as both creditors and advisors to governments, a financial conflict of interest baked into the system itself. So what does the trillion-dollar life of a Rothschild look like in the 21st century? A family reunion could include over 100 heirs, many of whom run their own funds, vineyards, or philanthropic empires. They own some of the most secure private art collections in Europe. Their homes include castles in France, estates in England, and alpine retreats. They maintain quiet access to diplomats, UN officials, and elite business circles, and yet they still avoid mainstream media coverage. Some Rothschild descendants don't even use their last name publicly. Why? Because power without visibility is the most durable kind. The Rothschilds didn't just make money, they created a self-sustaining financial organism designed to outlive empires, revolutions, and market crashes. In the end, the trillion-dollar life of the Rothschild family isn't about luxury, it's about legacy engineering, the construction of an invisible empire that influences global events from behind closed doors, not by force, but by finance. Now that you know what lies beneath the surface, you have to ask yourself, how many other invisible empires exist right now, shaping your future without you ever seeing their face? If you found this episode eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We've only scratched the surface. Until next time, stay curious.